Hello everybody, this is a red, white, and blue deck that I'm gonna sell. I already sold the other red, white, and blue deck on the channel, so don't ask me about that. And I'm gonna explain how the deck works, why I have what I have, some tricks, some tips, whatever for the deck. But first I'm gonna explain the mana and why I have the mana I have. And okay, so 4 Hallowed Fountains, because, Hallowed Fountain is just, you need 4 of them. You need blue and white mana a lot in this deck. So I also have 4 Glacial Fortresses. Okay, here's where it gets kind of interesting. Only 3 Sulphur Falls, 3 Steam Vents and 2 Sulphur Falls. The reason is because I only have 6 burn spells, so this usually seems to be enough for me. Anytime I have more, plus I have 3 mountains, so yeah, this is pretty much enough. And then 3 mountains. This usually covers the, if I have to Snapcaster like a Pillar of Flameback or Searing Spear, that usually covers the red. 3 plains for if I need to play like an Azurius Charm early game to draw a card or something. 4 islands. Without these, I wasn't drawing enough islands, so I basically, I perfected the mana base of this deck. Okay, I'm gonna start with this. Slayer's Stronghold can either be a Desolate Lighthouse or Slayer's Stronghold. So what this does is pay a red, a white, and tap, and then you can give target creature +2/+0 and gain vigilance and haste until the end of turn. So as you'll see later, this can be really good for when you're equipping Runechanter's Pike, and like if you want to swing right away, and you can win the game pretty much. Okay, Moorland Haunt. Basically, it allows you to exile a card from your graveyard, a creature card that is, put a 1/1 flying spirit token on the field by paying a white, blue, and tapping. What I do is I do this at the end of someone else's turn, at the end of my opponent's turn, so that I can have a 1/1 that I can equip right away and attack right away if I don't have the Slayer's Stronghold out. So that's pretty much the story behind the mana. Now, creatures next. 9 creatures. Okay, let me pull these up here. I'll start with Augur of Bolas. What this does is, I'll explain it simply. You reveal the top 3 cards of your library. If one is an instant or sorcery, you can choose it, reveal it to your opponent, and put it in your hand. The other 2 cards go to the bottom of your library. This could be really good for getting some draw power out, like I'll show you the draw spells I have later. Snapcaster Mage, I don't even really need to explain this, but play an instant or sorcery from your graveyard for its mana cost when Snapcaster enters the battlefield. So like, if I want, I can play another Azurius Charm or Thought Scour myself again, get more cards in the graveyard. Restoration Angel. If someone's targeting one of these creatures that I have equipped to Runechanter's Pike, I can play Restoration Angel, which blinks the creature, which it removes it from the battlefield and puts it back on the battlefield, so I can evade it, and the card that they're targeting the creature with will just fizzle. And it's also a good beatdown card, obviously. Okay, I'll show the instants and sorceries next. Actually, I won't. I run 2 Detention Spheres because, I don't know, it stabilizes early game just in case I'm not drawing anything. They really seem to help. Okay, Azurius Charms, I run 4. This card is insanely good because, well, I'll explain the three effects. The first one that I've been using when I play control, that is return attacking or blocking creature on top of its owner's library. So what you can do is you can return it to the top of its library, and then when they try to replay it, you counter it. So it pretty much gives you a second chance to counter something. Or you can draw a card, which is what this deck uses mostly. But there is another like really good effect, which is creatures gain lifelink. So what I can do is, if I have a Runechanter's Pike equipped and I'm swinging for like 30 or something, and they block it, I can give it lifelink, so I still gain like a crap ton of life. And if you're gaining that much life, you won't lose. It's pretty much guaranteed. More draw spells. Thought Scour costs 1 to play. What it does is, target player puts the top 2 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard, and then you can draw a card. I usually use the target player effect on myself so that I can get a bunch of instants and sorceries in my graveyard, and I also get to draw a card for free, basically, for 1, which really isn't much. So that gets more instants and sorceries in my graveyard. Sphinx's Revelation. Wow, this camera is not focusing. It's really annoying. Okay, so Sphinx's Revelation. It's an instant, which is awesome. You gain X life and gain X cards. Self-explanatory. It's really cheap too. This card has saved me from a lot of losses, and yeah, it's really good. One more draw spell card. Think twice. You can, it's drawing a card for 2 mana, but the great part is you can flash it back from your graveyard. And I usually do all this at the end of my opponent's turn, so I'm not actually using any mana. So pretty much it's free draw power, which this deck really uses to the best of its ability. Okay. Runechanter's Pike. Equipped creature has first strike and gets +X/+0, where X is the number of instants and sorceries in your graveyard. I'm sure you're seeing the trend now. So pretty much you're putting all these instants and sorceries in your graveyard, you're milling yourself and stuff like that, and then you're just going to drop a little creature, like a Stalker, an Augur Bolas usually, and then you drop this down and equip it, and then you swing for a shit ton and just end the game. I only run 2 because, I don't know, it's just enough to be consistent. 3 or 4 is really too much. Only 3 counters in the deck. 2 dissipates and 1 negate. Why do I only run 3 counters? Because if your opponent sees 1 counter, they're going to be more cautious. So if I'm countering something, they're not going to want to play something because they're going to think I have a lot of counters. But 3 is really enough. I can always Snapcaster them back or whatever. So, and that just adds to the instants and sorceries count in the graveyard. Cloud Shift, pretty much Restoration Angel Proxy, does the same thing, blinks creature, make a targeting spell fizzle, or you can reuse Snapcaster's effect, or you can reuse Augur Bolas's effect, blah blah blah. Okay, 2 Supreme Verdicts. This is a card that's really good because it can kill Geist of Saint Traft. You're wondering, what? Geist of Saint Traft is hexproof? What are you talking about? No, you can't. You can kill Geist of Saint Traft because you're not actually targeting it. Hexproof means that you can't be the target. When Supreme Verdict is played, it destroys everything, not targeting anything. So I always find myself using this against Geist of Saint Traft. 3 Pillar of Flames. Sorceries, pay 1 red, deal 2 damage to target creature or player. I run 1 Searing Spear for more versatility. Instant, I can always Snapcaster them back. So these are the only burn I have in the deck, and it seems to be working quite good. Okay, so that's the deck right there. I'll try to simulate some kind of, I don't know, some kind of play with the deck by showing you how to do it. Okay, so Ogre Boss. Okay, I'll just do this. So what you would do is, okay, let's say your opponent's ending their turn. At the end of your turn, you'll play Thought Scour. You'll mill yourself 2. Obviously, these cards are in order, so it's not going to work out good. I'm not going to use the lands. I'm just going to play Ogre Bolas. So you would look at the top 3. You would reveal an instant or sorcery. Let's say this is an instant. Put it in your hand. Show them. You have to show them. Put the other 2 on the bottom. And then wait till next turn. Try to protect this. At the end of their turn, draw another card with Azurius Charm. And then draw a card for your turn. Play Runechanter's Pike. Equip it. Swing for his attack plus the numbers of instants and sorceries in your graveyard. Obviously, in other cases, it's going to be a lot more. And that's pretty much how the deck works. This deck could use Geists of Saint Draft. I just don't have any right now, so that's why, if you're wondering why there is none in here. But yeah, I'm going to be selling this deck, so PM me or comment if you want to buy it with the price you're thinking, and we can probably work something out. Also, I'm looking for a few cards like Geist of Saint Draft, Thundermaw Hellkite, Sublime Archangel, Silverblade Paladin, and I don't know, a few other things, a few trade bait cards. That's pretty much it. So, alright, thanks.